Hey guys, what's up? My name is Shanerator, and I have several things that I'd like to share with you. Actually, it's like one main thing, a story actually, with several underlying things that kind of support it, like proverbial columns. So, contrary to popular belief, I am actually a human. Weird, right? And based what little I know of the human nature is that we have different things that we require, special needs, so to speak. You know, like food, clothing, video games, essential stuff. These are the things that comprise, I think, most human beings and help us survive, right? According to science anyway. And a corollary of the human needs is the fact that we require something in order to obtain these things. Money. And so, the logic train that I've set up is that we as humans have needs. To get to the needs, you need money. And because I'm a human, I need to get money as well. You follow? In any case, so to get this money, you need what is generally known as a job. So yes, I have a job as a server at a pretty well-known restaurant. Now that I've set up this crucial pillar to support my story, I can now get to the meaty stuff, which is the main plot. Now, normally when it comes to a mystery, you wait till the very end of the story to reveal the plot twist. Well, I am going to go against the social norm and give you the plot twist right now. I was the perpetrator of the missing grape. And I'm going to go in a bit of detail on how exactly this came to be. So I got a job at this restaurant as a server. Now, thing about me is I do value my job. I absolutely love it. The people there are awesome. There's food. There's two of my favorite things right there. Of course, it could use maybe like a video game system or something, but that's besides the point. I want to say that the timeline of this taking place was about a year after I started working at this restaurant. All sorts of people come to this restaurant, right? You've got people. Tall ones, short ones, young ones, weird ones. I think I've covered all the humans. Now, because we have such a wide swath of people that come into the restaurant, we have all sorts of dishes that kind of cater to this wide swath of people, including the young ones, the kids, the children. And with these kids' meals, no, we don't give out cool little fun toys that break after day 2. No, we give something better. We give what's called sides. Sides, you say? What does that mean? I don't know. It's like a side dish to the main entree for the kids. And one of these 4 that we offer are grapes. Now, here's the thing. I like fruit. I don't feel like I have a lot of kryptonite in my life, but I would say that fruit is probably somewhere on that list, maybe in the top 50 things at like number 47 or something, that would maybe be a bit of a temptation for me. Now let's fast forward a bit. About a year after I started working there, I stole something. I did. And here is how it happened. The full unabridged version. Well, if it's unabridged, I suppose I should separate my hands then. And it went something like this. Once upon a time, there was a lad named Shanerator who became a server at this restaurant. This night was markedly different from the other ones. It was at this point that this human Shanerator did something that he regretted. What happened was, it was a slower night. Not a lot of people were coming into the restaurant. Therefore, we didn't have as many people that were working. So I go into the alley, which is kind of like the main foyer area of the kitchen. It's where we get the salads, we have the plates, where we get the hot food from the window. But the most important aspect of this kitchen in relation to the story is the grape tray. Oh, the grape tray. Yeah, it's just like a little tray where we have grapes and stuff. And the thing is, because these grapes are easily accessible, I'm sure that they could pose a bit of a temptation to those people that are around them. Myself included. So up until this time, I was super successful in keeping myself away from giving into this temptation, this kryptonite of publicly accessible grapes. I didn't touch them. I refused to eat them because I knew that it probably was not the ethical thing to do. At least that was an argument that I made myself believe up until this one specific day. I don't know if I can talk about this. This is gonna get really emotional. So here I was, server Shanerator, in the kitchen. It was a deserted wasteland. I looked to my right, I looked to my left. It was pretty much empty. There was not a living soul in sight. Most of the servers were probably out in the main restaurant area doing what they were supposed to do, their job, and helping out other guests and stuff. And the rest of the kitchen staff was mostly a skeleton crew. So it was pretty sparsely populated in that kitchen, with the exception of one guy. Me, specifically. And so there I was, just kind of dawdling around and moseying around the kitchen with not a whole lot to do. And then my eyes fall upon this tray, the public grape accessibility tray. Now I say public, but these grapes are reserved for our guests. We employees are not supposed to partake in these grapes. I had never taken a grape before. okay? But I looked at this tray and then I was like, no, don't you do that. You do not touch that. It does not belong to you. But shanerator, it's there. No one's watching. You know how much you like grapes. No. I refuse to do this awful thing. I've got better things to do, like my job. Hey, it's gonna be okay. It's just one grape. There's like a pile of them in there. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? I can't do that. This is ethically wrong to just take a grape. That's stealing. No. Look, you've worked pretty hard at this job. You deserve it, shanerator. I do? I deserve this? Yes, just take a grape. Well, you're right. There's not a lot of people around. No. It's just you. Are you sure about this? And also, why are you whispering? It's for dramatic effect. Now, are you just gonna take the grape or not? Okay. So I listened to the voice in my head. I looked to my left, I looked to my right. Still nobody. So I kind of mosey up to this grape tray, while at the same time maintaining like this moderate sense of vigilance to ensure that no one would catch me in this vile act that I was about to commit. So I get up to the tray, I slide right up to that tray, right? And I look down, there it is. There's just this pretty sizable tray filled to the brim with grapes. In fact, it was pretty much overflowing that if I had looked at it wrong, a few wayward grapes might have fallen off the top lip and just slid off the counter and onto the ground. So that voice in my head, the whispering voice, also made me rationalize even more. The grapes are practically like falling off the top of the tray. There's so many. What you are doing, it will benefit mankind. You don't want those grapes to go to waste. You will be helping humankind. And it was at that moment I was convinced that grape was mine. So then what I proceeded to do was, okay, I wasn't shaking. I boldly reached my hand into that tray and picked up one solitary juicy grape. I kind of looked at it, just kind of observed it. And then I kind of looked at it, watched it as the fluorescent light glistened off of this beautiful product of nature. I could hear the heavenly music play, and those fluorescent lights were almost like the lights of God, just like beaming down onto my hand, making this seem like it was the okay thing to do. So this little tiny grape, after watching it for what seemed to be like an eternity, I went ahead and decided to make it connect with my lips. Just slowly and epically, just went in for the kill. And I kid you not, as I was surreptitiously lifting this grape to my lips and got to about, like a millimeter away, like as close to my lips as I could get it without it actually touching my lips, the kitchen door swings open. And there, standing in the doorway, was the restaurant manager, the manager. And she stood right there in the doorway, and I stood right there in front of the counter with this grape almost to my lips. And we had like this staring standoff. I think I lost that staring contest. So there I was, kind of mid-reach, and there she was, standing right there in the doorway, watching me with angry, slanted eyes. So what did I do? I ate the grape. What else was I gonna do? Hey there. I was just observing the structural integrity of this luscious fruit for human consumption. No. I ate the grape. It was mid-reach towards my mouth. There was no going back. It was one of those moments where I was pretty much all in. I had no choice but to go all in. Even if going all in meant diving into a bungee trap that was filled with spikes. So I ate the grape. And I just stood there staring at her while I munched on that grape. She had caught me red-handed. So then finally, she broke the silence with her voice. Okay, shanerator. That's my best impersonation of her, okay? What's wrong with this picture? Honestly, I was kind of at a loss for words. I had taken a grape, which I had never done before, and the first time that I do it, I get caught by the manager. There really wasn't a lot for me to say. I was able to coin, I think, a somewhat witty response. Well, the grape wasn't as juicy as I was anticipating. Yeah, seriously, that's what I said. Well, let me tell you. And then she proceeded to go on this long-winded tangent on violating company protocol and listed quite a few reasons as to why what I was doing was wrong. And then I just kind of stood there, just kind of chewing on this lifeless grape pulp that was still in my mouth, listening to her drone on about company policy. It's like chewing on a piece of old gum that had been in your mouth already for like 7 hours, because I felt like swallowing it would have been rude right in front of her. Eventually I did though, so don't be super alarmed. After that tangent, she then made it pretty clear to me that if this were to happen again and she caught me, that I would get written up. So I responded politely, and apologized repeatedly. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Her scary condemning manager pose relaxed, and then she proceeded to make a 180 turn out of the kitchen and left me there, all alone, like I was before. So I had a few moments of intense contemplation about what I had done. The fact that I had given in to temptation and took the grape, which was definitely wrong. I did. I considered it all, and I was like, you know, she was probably serious. But then, after these moments of serious contemplation about my life, they were cut short at the sight that was still before me, the grape tray. So you know what I did? After all that stuff, after taking the grape, getting yelled at, and threatened to be written up, I quickly snatched one more and ate it. Since that day, those many moons ago, I have not gotten in trouble for eating that second grape. Boom! See, I may have ruined one plot twist earlier, but there was still another one waiting in store for you guys. So, moral of the story. Number one, I don't condone ever taking grapes from an employer, ever. It's still stealing. This was a story merely for anecdotal purposes. However, if you do find yourself in that scenario, my recommendation to you, ladies and gentlemen, is to just simply go to the supermarket, buy your own bag of grapes, and keep them on your person at all times. That way, if you do suddenly have the inclination to want to eat grapes, you can just simply take one from your own personal stash. That's right, just carry like a little satchel of grapes on you to carry with you wherever you go. There's nothing weird about it, okay? I mean, I've never done it myself yet, but you could be the one to start this trend. Come on, break the mold. Grape satchels. And then we can add that to the list of Maslow's hierarchy of needs for humans, right next to all the other items. Food, clothing, video games, and of course the vital number 4 item we need, grape satchels.